Hi, welcome to my channel. This is the Mental Wellness channel with Waihiga. If you're new here, welcome. I hope that you stick around and take a listen to what I have to share. Today I want to talk about thinking I'm not hurting anyone by my drinking. Before I get into this topic, kindly hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. When I was drinking, I used to have this excuse. Nobody knows about my drinking. Nobody cares about my drinking. And finally, my drinking isn't hurting anyone. My drinking was hurting a lot of people. My drinking was definitely hurting a lot of people. It's a very selfish thing to think that your drinking is not hurting anyone. Of course, your drinking is hurting people. If your drinking is taking you out of the family home, if your drinking is taking you away from work, if your drinking is taking you from being able to pay your bills, if your drinking is taking you away from being able to get an education, if your drinking is taking you away from evenings where you should have been spending dinner, sitting with your family, but instead you were sitting at a bar stool with random people, drinking and making merry, your drinking is hurting someone. Your drinking is definitely hurting someone. It's a lie that I used to tell myself to just comfort myself. And I really believed it. I believed it for a very long time. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm seriously not hurting anyone. I actually did not think that my drinking hurt anybody but myself. I seriously believed that when I was drinking solely for my own pleasure, and then later on my own addiction. In the beginning, I drank to forget. In the beginning, I drank to alleviate my depression and my anxiety. Towards the end of my drinking career, I was drinking to survive. I was drinking to merely survive. And I told myself things like, as long as you don't drink in the house, you're fine. Stay away from home when you're drunk. Stay away from home when you plan to drink. And you'll be fine. They shouldn't be offended. They shouldn't be angry. After all, I'm not drinking under their premises. I'm not drinking under their roof. They didn't buy this alcohol. I did. That's how entitled, selfish, dishonest I used to think. Alcohol was my everything. You have to understand that. I protected that relationship. It was my number one relationship, my number one priority in life. And I had to protect it at all costs. And most of us alcoholics think like that my drinking is not hurting anyone. And that's why we don't change. And when we do get sober, we get sober for ourselves. That's the only way it works. If I tried to get sober for my parents, I would not be sober for long. If I tried to get sober for love, I would not be sober long. If I tried to get sober for anyone other than myself, I would not be sober for long. Because sobriety takes work, and those other things are going to fail. They're going to fail. But I'm stuck with me. I'm stuck with me every single day. And I have to put in the work. I have to go to an AA meeting. I have to call my sponsor who's in the program. I have to do the 12 steps, which are not easy. I have to be rigorously honest. Sobriety is not easy. But for a long time, I seriously thought that I did not hurt anybody by my drinking. Actually, many years into recovery. It took me a while to realize that my drinking actually hurt people. And in the beginning, I was quite offended that certain people were hurt because of my drinking. I was like, well, you have no right to be hurt. I wasn't drinking in your presence. I wasn't there. And that's the point. I wasn't there. That is precisely the point. I wasn't there. I missed out on weddings. I missed out on funerals. I missed out on birthdays. I missed out on everyday life for a very long time. I couldn't be trusted. You couldn't tell me things. I wasn't an active participant. I wasn't an adult that could be trusted. An alcoholic in my raw form was looking for one thing and one thing only. And that was my next fix. When am I going to be able to drink next? That's all I ever thought about. That is it. So looking back and thinking to myself, wow, are there people like this who actually think like this? Of course there are people like this. Because I was exactly like this. But a huge psychic change cannot be done overnight. And it can't be done by yourself. You have to work a program. You have to be in recovery. God has to be in your life in order to make certain realizations about how wrong you were. I was wrong about so many things. And I'm still quite wrong about certain things. I'm never 100% right. But to the core of myself, I really believe there's no one I'm hurting. Absolutely nothing I'm doing wrong. It's my body. It's my choice. It's my money. It's my future. It's my present. And therefore, I can just live the way I want to live. I can just do whatever I want to do. And that is what I did. But it also got to a point in my life where I stopped lying to myself. I stopped saying things like, I won't drink today, or I don't need a drink today, or I'm not going to go looking for it. I started saying, I need to drink today. I am going to find a drink today, no matter what it takes. I will find it. I will find it. I will find it. And I always did. I always did. Towards the end of my drinking, I did not care who saw me drunk. I didn't care. I understood in my mind, in my heart, and in my soul that this was now at a point that I could not control it. I understood that it was beyond my means. I understood that this was now something that I could not leave alone. I could not control the time I started drinking. I could not control the time I stopped drinking. I could not control how I got drunk, when I got drunk, after how many I got drunk. One beer would get me drunk. My tolerance dropped. I didn't care if my parents saw me drunk anymore. I wasn't hiding it anymore. I didn't care if people from school saw me drunk anymore. I didn't care if I was drunk at 7 a.m. in the morning. I didn't care if extended family members saw me drunk. I did not care. That's where my drinking took me. And it hurts. Make no mistake about it. If you're gonna lie to yourself about your alcoholism, about your drinking, lie about other things, but don't lie to yourself and tell yourself that this isn't hurting anyone. I'm just hurting myself. That's a lie. You're hurting every single person that knows you. But because I'm an alcoholic, I understand that you can't do anything about it. I understand that you can't do anything about it. You can't control it. You can't stop drinking, even if you tried. My point is, be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Because the more you lie to yourself, the harder it is for you to get help. I hope this video helped you. Please, I hope this video helped you. Please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Until the next video. Goodbye, guys.